Hello, 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 and welcome to Wrestling with Entertainment, bringing you exclusive news, breaking the rumors and innuendo, previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, the whole shebang, every every Saturday on YouTube and Castbox. I'm your host, James J. With me, as always, my co-host, Kaliko Yachts.
Doop, 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 doop. The champ is here. What's up, world?
We will be joined later by Mitch Mayhem and Scooter Dust. And it's a great day for wrestling. And PowerPoint presentation. Drew Gulak on SmackDown.
Just when I thought it was dead, man, it came back like Thriller. Oh, thank God for the PowerPoint presentation.
And I was digging that shit, and Braun Strowman completely ruined it. Fuck you, Braun.
Yeah, as usual. I mean, they just always fuck it up.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen the PowerPoint I guess I'm one of the few that is really willing to watch the PowerPoint presentation from beginning to end. Considering I was in the military, and that's like basically what we do for training is death by PowerPoint. So I appreciate a good PowerPoint presentation.
Well, I mean, it was over 700 slides, so Braun doesn't kind of feel like he has that time. But I mean, he could have at least like 10 slides.
At least, but every slide has a reason. You know what I'm saying? It's like A through Z, and then every A has a step to get to B. You see what I'm saying? A1 through A10 to get to B. That's what I love about PowerPoints.
And I mean, he was helping Braun. It was keys to beating Tyson Fury, my bad. So like, Braun's just ungrateful because it was for his benefit.
He is, and that's what I was like, man, he probably had a PowerPoint slide with the video of the Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder fight which he got knocked out, and that could have been the key where he could have actually took in some pointers, and we never got to see that. It's a damn shame. Damn shame.
All right, so we have a special announcement tonight, Kaliko.
Oh,
Thanksgiving is coming up, and what goes better with turkey than wrestling? I mean, every Thursday on Thanksgiving, wrestling was as synonymous with Thanksgiving as turkey. So we will be doing commentary on an old Survivor series on Thanksgiving next month.
Oh, wow. I think I have one, and I already have one, but I'm biased as hell. I have one, but I'm biased as hell with it. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm biased as shit, but at least I have one or two in the trunk that I really, really like.
And me, Kaliko, Scooter, and Mitch will all reveal our picks later on the show. And then we will tell you how you will be able to pick from our 4 choices which Survivor Series we watch. So stay tuned.
Going to be más interesante.
Our main event tonight will be Crown Jewel predictions. Our mid-card will be week 4 of the Wednesday Night Wars. I have some thoughts about that. But we will be wrestling with Bound for Glory. That was last Sunday. And this has been the first time I've seen Impact Wrestling for quite a while. What did you think of the show? Let's start off with that.
Impact is where it's at that point where it's like underneath the radar, per se. I would say it's stuck in that purgatory that ROH is stuck in, where it's like they're there, but it's not like a stick out like once it once was.
Right. And your overall enjoyment of the show?
Overall, good show, but there was one thing that bothered me that I thought they were building to, but they just, to me, they undercut like that storyline.
I also enjoyed the show. I felt that it was either a high quality Impact show or a really good regular paid preview. I didn't feel like this was biggest show of the year caliber, but considering the hits that they've taken in the last year or so, I think they did pretty good with what they had.
True, they worked with what they were given with, and I feel like Bound for Glory is like their WrestleMania, so it's one of those things where it's like it's not, it doesn't have that luster that it used to have, so it just
Shout out to Kaliko's son.
On daddy duty, you know how that goes.
Yep. Alright, so let's get into it. Eddie Edwards won Let's Get Everybody on the Show Gauntlet match.
I think that I know why they did that, but because it's more of a redemption story for Eddie Edwards. Pretty good show. Got some people that it ain't came, and it got like a little pop. So we'll see where it goes and later in the show.
Right. And I mean, who was actually going to win this battle royal? Honestly, it's interesting that there was also women in the battle royal. They do a lot of intergender matches, I've noticed.
Yeah, I think so. I think they do that on purpose, just like to blur the lines, because they're trying to get ahead of something that WWE hasn't got to yet. I think like what it is it's always that rule of law. Like once it's on TV first, whoever put it on TV first, they get to claim it first. You see what I'm saying? So they're trying to get ahead of the curve on that. But if you noticed on Impact, they always kind of been that way, because with the way that they were pushing Tessa Blanchard, with having that beef with OVE, it to me seemed like they were going that route anyway, because that's the first time I've seen a full since China Jeff Jarrett, since I've seen a full program where a woman wrestler is fighting a male wrestler on a consistent basis.
Right. And I think in regards of Tessa, she was just at a point where she probably did everything she possibly could in the women's division. So put her in that main slot on the men's side.
Yeah, but the one thing that I like about what they're doing with Tessa is that they're making her really look really, really, really strong, like very strong. And the one thing I always thought about Tessa over the years, because I've seen her like through NXT where she was doing squash matches with Alexa Bliss and so on and so forth. She always had the potential, and it was just like which company was going to maximize on it. I would have thought it would have been NXT, but I feel like with her being outside of NXT, it gives her a bigger. I mean, she's not no mainstream, but if you are an Impact acolyte, Tessa Blanchard is the real deal. And I would just wish that more people would focus on that part.
Right. All right, that brings us to our second match on the card. Knockouts champion Taya Valkyrie with Johnny Bravo defeated Tennille Dashwood to retain the championship. I didn't particularly like this match. It kind of seemed like they were rushing through everything. kind of make it look like a big deal, but wasn't really a big deal.
To me, they made this match seem the big deal in this match was the fact that Tennille Dashwood was with Impact. Me personally, I always thought like Tennille Dashwood, aka Emma, got like a raw end of the deal. Because to me, she was part of the women's evolution, but she never got the credit for it, if that makes sense.
No, you're
because
right.
To me, like her match with Paige was just fucking. That's what started it in a sense, as far as like WWE wise, because everybody's gonna say, "Well, it actually started with Gail Kim and." I get that, but as far as like from the WWE standpoint of taking women seriously, that match that she had with Paige was the lexicon that started it, and I feel like Paige got the ascension, and Emma just kind of got stuck. Emma, to me, she got a raw deal in WWE. I always thought that from the beginning, no matter what nobody says. I always thought she was a very talented wrestler. She went to ROH. They really didn't use her that good because she should have been the first women's champion. She goes to Impact. Hopefully, I was hoping that maybe they would use her pretty good. And I get it. It's Tyra Valkyrie, and she's the champ. And I feel like she was just like a challenger that was credible because of the fact that their women's division isn't that deep as it was. So it just kind of breaks my heart for the fact that like Emma took that loss.
Well, of course, Tennille. I kind of feel like she could be that main event player. She could be a world champion. But I kind of feel like her attitude behind the in the backstage is kind of what holds her back, because it kind of felt like, okay, they were going places with her in Ring of Honor. They were going to put her over. She was in Lifeblood, and then that kind of wasn't good enough for her. She kind of wanted the championship right now. And Ring of Honor was like, okay, it's time to cut ties. That's just my thought process on it, what my opinion on it. And I kind of feel the same thing with WWE as well.
I get it, but with ROH, I think her neck injury, kind of like fucked her over there. Like it was a combination of ROH kind of starting to decline, and then adding to her injury, it really didn't like those two things just really didn't mesh well. To me, she is still I could argue that she's a top 15, top 10. I'd give her a top 10 talent in WWE in the world in women's wrestling. I could give her a top 10. I could give her the argument that she's a top 10. But it's just like timing for her. I just feel like timing for her is the key. And that's just like, that's what I'm hoping.
Well, I think she's gonna have to maybe have an attitude adjustment before she gets higher on the totem pole. But that takes us to our next match. Impact Tag Team Championship. The North, Josh Alexander and Ethan Page defeated Rich Swann and Willie Mack and Rob Van Dam and Rhino to retain the titles. This is actually a pretty good match. Feeling kind of old myself, considering how old RVD looks.
I mean, RVD never looks old because he's always on that reefer, yo. Like it don't even it shows like, hey, but as long as he can still perform in the ring, I feel like he's one of those guys where it's like he likes to wrestle, just not like, just to get like certain people over, not to try to steal the show like he used to. I feel like he feels like he's not the guy that he used to, but he can still be as good once and still be better than half the roster. And they tried to pull that off with the tag team match.
And you could tell how old he's getting by his hairline. Because when, like, in 96, like, it was full-on hair, and now it's that hairline is receding.
Hey, his hairline may be receding, but his new wifey got him living younger than he'll ever imagine.
Who's his new wife?
That Katie Forbes with Impact Wrestling. And just check his Twitter. Just check Katie Forbes' Instagram. Like, she's got that dude living his best life in ways that he probably could never imagine.
He's winning in life?
He's winning in life. Like I say, you rather be a legend in the ring or a legend in life? Which one would you rather be? Like, and I think he took the latter, legend in life.
And during this match, Rob Van Dam turned on Rhino, so he's a heel now. He's a heel! So we'll see what happens there.
I mean, we'll see what happens there in the sense of, like, he's there, but it's not like he's been there, like, a consistently, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see where it goes.
Right. And the North, obviously the major heel tag team. And Willie Mack and Rich Swann. I mean, we haven't talked a lot about them in the past.
Personally, I know I feel like I'm like being a homer right now, but I feel like Rich Swann's story is a story that is made for freaking mainstream television gold. If people don't know, like, Rich Swann was like born and raised in Baltimore. Father dies, his mother dies before he's 18. He's running around in the streets, and he literally credits wrestling for saving his life and getting his life together. And like, they highlighted that a little bit in the Cruiserweight Classic, but I just felt like that story is a story of something where, like, people can relate. It's the American dream, like, people coming up from poverty and despair and, like, making it to, like, the pinnacle of their profession. And for that, I respect Rich Swann way more as a man than as a wrestler. Willie Mack, he's always been a good talent. If you've seen Hollywood Championship Wrestling, he's always been like a great talent, a great hand, and that's just a good pairing for them two. But to me, I always lean towards Rich Swann just because of that story background that I kind of gotta. It made me want to read into him deeper, as from a personal level, and I just wish I would think Impact would. I don't know if he's allowing that to, like, become a part of who he is, especially if he's running as a face. I think that would be something that people can definitely, like, clamp onto.
Right. And, it seemed like Rich Swann was getting that opportunity in WWE but after the whole thing with Mia Yim, it kind of destroyed him. But
yeah. But second life, that's what I'm looking at. Like use that and the fact that of his upbringing, like, as a chance for redemption. Because the one thing I know that America in itself, they are literally, like, we are literally suckers for, like, redemption stories where someone gets to the highest of highs, then gets knocked down, and then come back and bounce back. So I think that's something that Rich Swann, like, it's something where it won't define him and it'll just make him better.
The next match, Michael Elgin defeated Marufuji. Do you remember Marufuji from a couple years back when he was in the G1?
Yes. But what's funny is they brought him here with Michael Elgin. It's like Michael Elgin, just go out there and do something, and they literally like got stiff, bro. It was pretty much like a New Japan match in Impact. Like that's what it felt like. Personally, I don't know how you got it, but I read that, and the way that they were hitting and the stiffness of their shots. It was literally a New Japan match in Impact.
Honestly, I feel a little spoiled on Michael Elgin at this point. I don't. I think he's a great talent. Obviously, he's a good wrestler. He's had some outstanding matches, but personality-wise, he falls short in my mind. He's not really good as a babyface, and I kind of don't believe him as a heel either.
Yeah, I mean, that's just because he never really lets his personality come through. It's more or less like it's just wrestling.
I think he would really benefit from a mouthpiece, honestly.
Yeah, a manager that would like get his point across, because he's not the guy that's going to be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go out there and cut a promo." He's just going to be the guy that's like, "I'll put on these matches. Just give me somebody who can get me from point A to point B."
Right. And maybe maybe Impact will realize that, but as of right now, he's just having good matches, and that's kind of not enough to get over, in my mind, in my opinion.
I mean, an Impact, it would be an Impact because it's not like they got a depth of talent.
And that brings us to our next match. Ace Austin defeated X Division champion Jake Chris, Tessa Blanchard, Denga, Ace Romero in a ladder match to win the championship. This was a car crossover match. I loved it. Until that very last spot.
Yeah, because to me, because if you've been, even if you haven't really been peeping with Impact, if you've known about the Tessa Blanchard story, the whole thing was basically like a thing to get Tessa Blanchard to where she's eventually, the way it was projecting, that she was going to eventually be the Impact Heavyweight Champion. And in order for her to get there, she would have had to get through OVE. At best, she would have been at least the X Division champion. Me personally, but I get why they picked Ace Austin, because to kind of call back Ace Austin and the previous winner, Eddie Edwards, in the Everyone Battle Royal, to kind of get that going. But when you're looking at it from someone as a Tessa who's trying to break the glass ceiling, if you will, to me it did no favors, because you're trying to unless Tessa somehow goes and wins a contendership against Brian Cage, but the problem is, and spoiler alert, Brian Cage already beat Sami Callihan.
Damn it, I didn't see the match yet.
I know, but that's why I say that. Spoiler alert. But that's why I thought Tessa would get there, because Tessa was, her main beef the whole year was with OVE, and they literally brought in Tommy Dreamer, RVD, all these legends to get her to yo, your father told me to not look after you, but to let you do your thing, and they're letting her do her thing, and now she's not going to be able to do her thing because she's not a champion. So that's where I'm my mind is gone at, right? So that's just to me. I could be wrong.
I kind of feel you're right. This was her match to win. And it would make sense for her to win this match. And it shows you how good she is. Honestly, I'm not that familiar with Ace Austin. I think I've seen maybe one match of his in the past. But she's had these death matches with Sami Callihan that's totally put her over.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm thinking in my mind, she could have a match with Ace Austin to the point where you could say, oh yeah, she could totally beat Ace Austin. She could have that rivalry.
I mean, personally, they had Tessa like that from the beginning, though. Like after the match that she had with Sami Callihan, that little kind of like a mini hardcore match. She literally that match to me solidified her in Impact that she could literally beat anybody. I just don't know why they just didn't pull the trigger there, because to me that was her shining glory, and they kind of like, woo,
Right. And I think they put her with Sami Callihan to have those matches. So
right.
You could believe that she could go up against a man and actually come out on top. She didn't come out on top. Because, Sami Callihan obviously on that top tier of Impact. He's that
the top guy.
The top heel of the company. So
right.
So it shows you that she's just right under Sami Callihan. So for her fighting Ace Austin kind of shows, well, she could beat Ace Austin. That's nothing.
I get that part, but the only way I could have stomached her taking that loss was that if Sami Callihan wins the belt and she eventually beats Sami Callihan. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it wasn't that match was just basically for her to be a lateral to become a contender for a bigger belt, if that makes sense.
Before we continue, we have Mitch Mayhem on the actual podcast he's featured.
Oh, what up, man?
Very funny. Hey, come on now. No pop shots needed. I'm featured on both. But yeah, what's up, everyone?
We are good. How are you, Mitch Mayhem?
I'm hanging in there.
We are talking about Bound for Glory from Impact Wrestling.
Oh, you're talking about they're going to do the throwback TNA thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was hoping it was real, but I thought it was a raid.
No, they're on Access Channel now.
No, I'm talking about going back to the TNA stuff, like for a night. They're gonna bring back the TNA name and all those, like the 6-sided ring, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard that.
What I mean. Oh, that you didn't hear that? Oh yeah. Like sometime next year they're having an event where it's a throwback TNA event, and so they're like bringing back all of they're basically going to have a old school TNA event.
Cool. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And now
real quick, TNA signed your favorite wrestler, Joey Ryan.
Don't even get me started.
Even before that signing, though, I told you guys that they were the sleeper in terms of the best roster in the industry. Remember?
And now they just devalued their roster.
No, now they just got better. In my
opinion, the hate for Joey. There's pictures that
they got better.
There's pictures of people actually literally taking pictures of themselves touching Joey Ryan's junk.
Yeah, there's a lot of perverts in the world.
a lot of people running around.
Oh, a lot of perverts in this world. There's a lot of people with foot fetishes too.
If Joey Ryan was doing a autograph signing, Mitch would definitely take his picture with his dick.
Number one, fuck no, I wouldn't. I'm not a homo. Number two,
you don't have to be a homo to do that.
Yeah, you don't have to be a homo.
I wouldn't devalue my masculinity like that. Number
there you go.
Number two, Number 2.
Masculinity, that's hilarious.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up, Jake. Back when I was not injured, I could, yeah, okay, you can talk all you want.
Give him the benefit of the doubt.
But, no, but I've met Joey Ryan. Like, I've talked to him a few times, so. Because I know my friends, like, my friends are the circle that he runs around, kind of, so.
All right, so let's get to our next match. Moose.
Can we just skip it? Because it's just like, it was 10 minutes. I mean, like,
what are you talking about? Ken Shamrock and Moose? We got to talk about that.
Yeah,
we got to talk about that.
Really? Do we have to?
Ken Shamrock's comeback. Isn't it his first match back? Or his first pay-per-view?
Yeah, it's his first match back.
But it didn't do Moose any favors. Like,
but it wasn't meant for Moose. It was meant for Shamrock.
All right. Okay. Let's hear this. Let's hear how great this Moose Shamrock match.
No, that's all I'm saying. Dude,
that's what I'm saying.
1998. He should have been pushed with The Rock and Austin. He was that popular, and they dropped the ball on him. And they did it on purpose, I think, because they didn't like how he stood up for himself and had morals on certain things. They didn't like that for some reason, one or another. And so he was held down on the card until he just left and had enough of it. And but he could have been a WWE
with the Rock
or WWF champion.
Well,
I'm just saying he had and just to see him back, it's a good nostalgia story.
Well, just to your point, when you have stars like Stone Cold, The Rock, Mick Foley, Undertaker, Kane, Triple H, where would have Ken Shamrock fit in all of that?
Easy. They would have had a spot. It's just all about management on the card, and they botched a lot of that in the early 2000s when they felt like they didn't have any more competition against WWE or WCW, and that they could just coast. So, real quick, like I said, and then that led to a 15-year period of complacency, in my opinion.
I think, to me, him and Kurt Angle literally came in around the same time. They both were credible athletes. Yeah. I think Kurt Angle, based on his wrestling action.
No, Shamrock came in 2 years earlier.
No, but not exactly at the same time, but I'm saying like within the same era.
Gotcha.
And I'm
well, they never fought though. They were never in the ring at the same time ever.
That is true, but.
And they were never in the WWE at the same. I don't think they were in the WWE at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah, they were.
I don't remember them ever being seen together because that would seem like an obvious matchup. Why didn't they do that before Shamrock left? You know,
they may have never crossed paths, but they were there at the same time. And the only reason I bring up Kurt Angle is in the sense that
the same style, right? But here's the thing:
same style.
Ken Shamrock was disgusted by Kurt Angle's use of it because he didn't do it right. He didn't he made it look fake. He didn't bring the ankle up where it was real pressure. And Shamrock made everyone know that. He's like, that's not the real move. It's this. And so he does the real ankle lock now. And
I wasn't even talking about that. I was just thinking more
bringing that up.
I was just thinking more as being adaptable to the style and to the system.
Oh, I'm just adding that onto it.
Because to me, Angle and Shamrock both came in. They both never wrestled professionally. Angle took to it like a fish to water.
So did Shamrock.
Shamrock kind of took it like a rock to sand. And
whoa, no. Shamrock came right in and immediately took off. What are you talking about?
But he was taken off because of the UFC acumen, not because of his
he got right in and he took to it like water in terms of his skill. He was a natural. Ask anyone back then. They'll tell you.
Not as much as a natural as Kurt Angle.
That's not true. Dude.
That is true.
No,
it's true. It's true. It's damn true.
I promise you, they had plans for him to be the WWE champion until they just didn't like his personal attitude. They didn't like how he stood up for his morals against making them feel like they were littler in terms of morals.
Everybody
they hated that.
plans
everybody's
changed.
in line to be the title. Snooker was in line to be the champion.
No, but
Bob
I mean legitimately, and they just literally put him on the bench. They just benched him because they wanted to, for no fucking reason. And they had a champion in their midst.
Okay.
Anyway.
Back to 2019.
Back 20 years later.
So why didn't you like the match, Kaliko?
I didn't like the match because, one, it was hella short. And granted, I know they're working with what Shamrock can do, but I just felt like that match to me was similar to like Charlotte versus Trish at SummerSlam. It did nobody any favors other than the fact that someone came back from out of nowhere to give a fight, to have a name for a fight. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's the only reason I had a beef with it. But other than that, they can do whatever they want.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say, Shamrock, for over 50 years old, he actually looked pretty damn good. But, yeah, you're right. Obviously, it was short for, obviously, his capabilities of the match.
Right.
And the finish just kind of came out of nowhere.
Right.
But
so there was no rhythm to it, no flow. That's why.
Right. And I think it wasn't, personally, I didn't think it was a bad match. Obviously, you have a
James,
little bit more critical of it.
James, can you send Scooter an invite real quick?
I see him, Mitch.
Okay, so, hey, I'm just making sure. Sorry, buddy.
It's okay. It's okay. So, alright. Maybe they're gonna do more with Ken Shamrock in the future with Moose. I'm not entirely sure, but we will see. And that brings us to our last match. Brian Cage defeated Sami Callihan to retain the title. Actually a pretty good last match. This was main event.
That is off.
True, but my thing was I thought Sammy was gonna win just because I thought Tessa was gonna. You see what I'm saying? Like that's where I thought the domino was gonna fall. I was thinking because they spent the whole time having Tessa like beef with OVE, and I'm thinking, okay, eventually Tessa gotta break the ceiling and win, and why not have it be the title, the actual main title?
And that might actually happen. We have Scooter Dust with us. Scooter?
Hi. Hi.
He's going on a kick tonight of his voice changer. So.
Oh my god. What are you guys doing on the remix of Over There?
Oh, we got way bored and started talking about social justice bullshit. It was actually kind of fun, but it was the show was boring.
Was like Black Lives Matter type shit? Or
no, about stupid ass thoughts and how they tried to do shit. Yeah.
Fun fact, Scooter. I found that fucking rambling rabbit on Supercard.
Oh.
The whole time I thought that was somebody doing their little gimmicky shit, and I finally saw it. I was like, oh shit, let me click this bitch. And now it's like, oh, get the feed, baby.
So this match obviously
got about 8 days left.
Hello? Alright, so
yeah.
The match with Sami Callihan and Brian Cage, definitely what should have ended the show. Kind of felt like a championship match that mattered. Before the match actually started, we had a fantastic promo from Sami Callihan. I thought that was really, really good promo on his part.
Yeah, which made you believe he was going to win the title. Because my whole beef was like not with the match, but just the way how the dominoes fell. Like the show in itself in the main event was really, really great. Like it actually had that feel of a championship caliber match. But to me, I thought Sammy was going to get the title to eventually let Tessa beat him for it to become. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because the only person who was really willing to give Tessa that shot was Sami Callihan. So why wouldn't it be Sami Callihan winning the title, letting Tessa get the shot, and anything could happen?
Well, the next week on Impact Wrestling, he has another opportunity for the belt. So he might actually win it. I have heard that there's major spoilers coming from that show.
We'll see where it goes.
All right. And we lost Scooter.
Oh no!
I assume he'll be back soon. So.
Yeah, I don't think our feed from Scooter is the only thing he's lost tonight.
Yeah. He's just bored. We got bored and started messing around on the other show.
Right. And that is our conclusion of Impact. Yeah.
Real quick, WWE program has been like literally the shits, bro. Horrible. It's sleep inducing. You don't need pills. Just watch SmackDown or Raw. You'll go to sleep real quick.
Well, I didn't watch Raw this week.
Oh, I can't watch it in the product anymore. For the last few months, I haven't. I just watched the reviews. I mean, I don't watch the full show. That's what I mean.
I have to watch Raw, man. I love the Street Profits. That's my.
I watched, like I said, I watched little clips of it because I can't sit and take all that, like all of the plot holes, all of the bullshit that pisses me off. That could easily be fixed. It pisses me off, and it's like throw up inducing sometimes. So for me, because it's easy, they could easily fix it, and they just want to appeal to more simple-minded, wrestling fans and the youth, I think.
But if that's the majority, then what you expect them to do?
But it's not who brought them into the dance, and it's not the most entertainment. It just isn't. If they're all about entertainment, this is not entertaining, in my opinion.
I don't know what happened there. It seemed like Paul Heyman was doing a really good job there for a couple months.
It's more boring, and I'll tell you what. Number one, hold on. It's more SmackDown boring, but it's boring on both, and it's always going to be because of one thing, James, and his name is Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Until he dies or somehow is brainwashed into giving up the WWE, which he never will because he's too freaking stubborn. He will just impose his own beliefs on the industry, and the industry will be frozen at his will until then.
I feel like he's a little bit busy trying to make sure that this fucking XFL pops off.
Yeah, but he has time to make sure that he acts like a Hitler Nazi as the WWE chairman too. Trust me.
The Hitler Nazi.
A Hitler Nazi.
When did we get from wrestling to Hitler? Like, I'm just trying.
I mean, like he's a authoritarian.
And that brings us to our first match, Emporia.
Touche.
Touche, my man. Touche.
Okay, let's get out of this topic and subject. That was our coverage of Impact Bound for Glory. I'm excited to cover them in the future as well. So let's see what happens with them.
Yeah, I want to see what happens mainly with Tessa. I feel like eventually she will be the world champion because they kind of did this with Lucha Underground where Sexy Star became the champ, and it got really, really good like reviews. So it's not like we're out of the realm of seeing a woman hold like a world heavyweight championship. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen in a mainstream sense to where the country can see it. Because as much as I love Lucha Underground wasn't like literally underground for a reason. So yeah, so that's where I'm at with it.
And Scooter, we're getting playback feed from you.
I'm not hearing anything from You perfectly.
All right.
He's like,
It's better now. We'll go on to NWA as well. Tim Storm was back on the program. Do you think that he called his mom for this match?
no, because he's been hide behind his mom. He's been sneaking off on his mom and doing wrestling on the side. Basically. That's basically what he told like the country.
What is his mom like 18? Oh my god, like he's old. What do you what?
She's like in her 90s. You have to go back and watch the promo. It's hilarious.
Yes, it is. I will say this. Tim Storm, I will say this. That story has been the story of Impact. Other than Nick Aldis and the whole Camille thing, like the top two stories are literally that story, the Nick Aldis Camille thing, the Tim Storm, and then what they're trying to do with the tag division. That's basically been and as much as I say it, like I'm just gonna beat it till it's a dead horse. NWA is literally the easiest watch of wrestling ever. It's literally like 45 minutes. They're getting straight to the point with the bullet points, getting straight to the points with the storyline, letting you know what's going to build to where. And that's where I feel like we get lost with like everywhere. Like even with NXT, WWE, AEW, blah, 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 blah. Like sometimes you just kind of want to just get to where it's the action, the precursor, the action, and then the fallout. And
yeah,
I feel like they're doing a great job of that.
Yeah, and what really gets me is how, all of the big hype for AEW and all of those companies, and then out of nowhere, silently, without anyone really knowing, NWA comes out of nowhere, dude, and just, like, no hype, no nothing, just great wrestling, and bringing back some of my favorite wrestlers from the past, like Mr. Anderson and others.
Would you say they came straight out of Compton?
Hell yeah, straight out of Compton. Crazy motherfucking name.
Fucking name. Ice Cube. From a gay called Whoa! I'm gonna stop there.
from a tribe called Quest.
Obviously NWA is doing some great things. That being said, who is going to pre-order their tickets for Tropical Pirates?
For what?
Aaron Stevens' new movie?
I don't give a shit what Aaron Stevens does outside of the ring. I only care about his wrestling.
Yeah. We're trying to get to the pay-per-view in Atlanta. That's basically
everyone wants to be a damn actor, even when they're a wrestler in the industry. It pisses me off. Stick to wrestling.
Honestly, when you think about it, though, wrestling is like the last.
It's a form of entertainment, and that's how they get their foot in the door into Hollywood. Yeah, I know, but still, because it is a form of acting.
Yeah, and it's like adaptability and.
Dude, if you can be a good wrestler in terms of your character and how you react and your charisma, you're a good actor. Like it definitely crosses over.
I tried.
Yeah, it worked for The Rock, and they're like, shit, why not me?
Rock, John Cena, Batista.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, shit, why not me? Let me get this bug.
I get what you're saying. I personally don't like because then it gets saturated when people just try to use it as a stepping stool. I have a love for wrestling. Wrestling is I don't need a stepping stool. That's what I want to do. You know what I mean? So I hate people who try to use it to get to higher places like the movies.
I would think that would be more of The Rock and Cena, but
they didn't use it. They didn't have intentions to do that. It kind of just fell into their lap,
but that's what I'm saying. Like you got like.
But then you have people like The Miz who like go after it intentionally, and
The Miz. But The Miz started out acting. It was basically the real world, so he just kind of like blended it.
That was reality TV. That's different. But I get what you're saying.
You really think reality TV is real?
Of course it's not. I said it's different because it's not real.
So I was having a conversation.
Well, yeah, it's real. It's what do you call it? Scripted.
I was trying to have a conversation with somebody about Tim Storm, And I could not remember his first name, and I said James Storm, Lance Storm, Tony Storm. Oh.
Yeah, they got two Storms there in the upper card. Like, what the
So,
hell? That could throw some
Big
people off.
big booty Tony. Shout out.
Now it's in my mind.
What?
Tony Storm.
Yes.
Oh, Mamacita. Yeah, she's hot.
So now it's in my mind. Tim Storm is the father of James and Lance Storm, and Tony Storm is the illegitimate daughter of James Storm, who was trained by her uncle Lance Storm. Boom. There you go.
Damn, we just got the Storm family tree figured out. Unsolved mysteries done. Next case.
Alright, we are wrestling with Wednesday Night Wars Part 4, Week 4. Kaliko, what did you watch first? Not TNA, AEW or NXT?
This week I did NXT, then I did AEW. There's a growing fear that I have, but I will get to that later. But that's what I saw NXT first and then AEW.
I know Mitch Mayhem only watched AEW.
No, I watched the both. You gotta ask me, man. Don't just say. When you jump to assumptions, you make an ass out of you and me. Assume.
There you go. There's
anyway,
an ass between you and me and assume. There you go. Good shit.
But yeah, so me and Scooter covered both of these, and there he goes again. But we covered both of these. We did AEW first hour, and then we did NXT second hour. But I also stayed tuned to the second hour of AEW.
So you saw AEW first.
Well, not because of me. Scooter decided that he was going to do the first hour of AEW.
But you had that side piece on that double vision with AEW.
No, I do. What are you talking about? Because the week before that, we covered NXT first. It's about it's his show. He decides the freaking order.
Yes, it is. It's my show.
You know James is just fucking with you, right?
Of course I do, and it's funnier when I reply back like this to where people think like I'm taking it serious. That's half the joke in it.
A-double-A.
If I just replied back like tone deaf and like no, it'd be no fun. Well, now wouldn't it?
Alright, so before we get to covering both shows, because we've covered these in great detail, in excruciating detail, the last couple of weeks, Kaliko, what was your favorite match from AEW? What was your favorite match from NXT? And who won the war this week?
Oh, let's see. Favorite match, AEW, I would say Private Party, Lucha Bros. That was a really, really great tag match. I can't even lie, like AEW's tag division, just running this tournament alone, it just shows you like the depth of their tag division. Because
what about Moxley Neville or Moxley Pac?
I'll get to that, but the only reason I highlight the tag division is because that to me is going to be a main staple of AEW, because when you sit there and tell me that a tag team tournament starts, the last group that I would tell you that would be in any semifinal is Private Party, and the fact that they giving them that shine just even further, and the fact that they even they literally started as a one-off on one show and literally got a contract. And they've been just like lights out ever since. So to me, that's like I connect those dots, and that's why I say the tag match, because
real quick,
the fact they're giving them that run.
I have a little bit of not really knowledge on that, but I've heard some stuff from some sources, my friends, in the wrestling industry, about. Hold on. my dog just got me sidetracked. What were we talking about again so I can remember? Sorry.
Private Party.
My best match, my top picks. My top picks were the Private Party versus Lucha Bros for AEW.
That's
NXT,
right.
I would say the triple threat match because psychology-wise it made sense. To me, NXT won this week because of the way that they're building the story. As much as I like AEW's action, it feels like it's it's an action of last week to like immediately react, and then it's like, okay, where do they go from there? Vice, I feel like Triple H has a long-term effect because they're going to get to a takeover, and they're building towards that rather than just trying to win for the week, if that makes sense.
Real quick before I forget, because I just remember what I was going to say, the longer I hold on to it, the easier I forget.
Yep.
But
go for it, Flo, show us.
Yeah, real quick. No, but the stuff that I heard was that I have it under good authority, in fact, that it was supposed to be, originally it was going to be Jurassic Express with, what's his name, Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. They were going to be in the slot of Private Party, and they were going to get the win on the Bucks. And so when Luchasaurus got injured, they switched it up last minute and gave that upset win to the Private Party.
Interesting. But I think it solved Private Party more than it solved...
But Luchasaurus can be a world champion by himself.
Right.
So it just, like, I think the more you see of him, the more you'll see what I'm saying.
And that's why he doesn't need a win over the Young Bucks, in my mind.
To put them on the map with the titles, I think, yeah, that would be big for them. Especially for Jack, Jungle Jack, as they called him, Jungle Boy.
Only JL calls him that.
No, a few of them were calling him that. Excalibur was saying it too. But yeah, anyways.
Okay.
But I would say it served Private Party better because I say the win over the Young Bucks served the Private Party better based on the backline story of the fact that they literally did a one-off and it turned into this. You see what I'm saying? Like that, the fact of that American dream that they got their one shot, they made the best of it, and now it manifested itself to this is to me why that tag match was like, you see what I'm saying? Like that's where to me it gels because the one thing America loves is like an underdog getting to that prominence.
So what was your favorite match from NXT?
Honestly, I was sick on Wednesday, so I didn't watch.
Oh, that's right. This week we didn't cover it.
Yeah,
but I watched AEW then NXT.
So first off, Kaliko, what was your favorite NXT match? And then we'll get to Mitch.
The triple threat match. It made sense.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just gonna say. Because Keith Lee's my favorite NXT star. He was my favorite indie star long before he was signed.
And I'm assuming you liked Pac and Mox.
Yeah, for AEW, yeah.
Right. And obviously Scooter was doing his best reenactment of Weekend at Scooter's.
What?
That's what they're doing with Patrick Mahomes this week. Come on, man. Like, come on.
Man, that Madden cover curse is back bigger than ever, ain't it?
Yeah, I know.
So
wow, 2 guys in a row. Okay, anyways.
My favorite match from NXT was obviously the triple threat. The one from AEW was Kenny Omega versus Joey Janela. I really enjoyed that match. And if I had to pick a clear winner and a clear loser, but not even really a loser, I'd say NXT won this week, just from quality of wrestling.
No, well, yeah, I don't think, the atmosphere was still unbeatable, and while this was their worst show yet, it still was better than NXT, in my opinion. And a lot of other people who don't have any bias towards AEW. In fact, they're long WWE fans like me. They just like the alternative. They like that there's something to choose from, that they're not stuck if they don't like something, like me and Scooter were tonight, just having to watch a boring-ass show. Well, on Wednesday nights, you don't have to do that. You can choose.
Alright, so let's get into NXT first. We've covered AEW the last 2 weeks first. Rhea Ripley defeated Bianca Belair. Great opener. Io interfered in the match, but Ripley was still able to win after some interference.
Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Then Candice LeRae came out and attacked
Do you guys not get that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, thank you.
It's appreciated. So,
very appreciated.
Rhea Ripley, major star?
Obviously.
Getting there. I mean, she was the first NXT Women's UK champ.
She's young.
So, I mean,
she's really young, so obviously she's getting there. She's not going to see her peak probably for another 5-8 years, but she's going to be up there. I think she's going to be one of the top women for years to come, definitely.
True. To me, it's just more of an introduction to her because I can make the argument that people know about NXT UK, but probably don't watch the NXT UK unless they are in the UK. And to me, it was basically like an introduction match. And by her beating a quality name such as Bianca Belair, because I love Bianca. Love Montez, love Bianca. Trust me, I'll black everything. But anyways... But her beating like somebody of that name, it puts her seriously in that contention. You see what I'm saying? So it served a dual purpose there. And she's like, oh my gosh, she's like tall as hell. Like she's up there with like she could be the next like a punk rock version of Beth Phoenix, in a sense.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
Like, because she's more punky, but she also will like fuck you up type shit. Like, yeah, I can see it.
And Scooter, did you didn't watch NXT or
No, I did not.
He was sick, remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
We talking about Rambling Rabbits. That's what we on.
Alright, so our next segment was Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates. Who is he, Scooter?
Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate.
That was less enthusiastic than usual.
My mind is in 2 different places right now.
Tyler Bate.
Tyler Bate.
Yeah, Scooter, stop looking at Pornhub for just a minute, man.
Damn. I know where he's at.
Joking.
He's trying to get that Rambling Rabbit so he could get the
Scooter
theme
knows so well.
on WWE Supercard. I know exactly where he's at.
Yeah, and I'm looking for my lighter.
Yeah, aren't we all?
See, I only got 8 days to get the feed. I gotta hurry up. I gotta get it going.
Yeah,
No, he's always gonna be available for purchase.
But then you have to pay.
But you gotta pay no matter what because you missed that. You had to get him for pre-order. Now you have to pay for him.
Oh no, we talking about WWE Supercard, fam. You got 8 days to get that bitch. You got 8 days to get the.
My bad.
I'm like halfway there. I feel the pressure on my mans right now.
No, Dunn said that he doesn't care about Killian Dane, which is interesting. I love how his promos, like, he doesn't give a shit about anything. In a video package from Ciampa, how he will reclaim Goldie from...
I'm not a Killian Dane fan at all.
No, I'm saying Pete Dunne, his promos are good.
Oh, yeah. I'm a huge Pete Dunne fan, but regardless, I don't see much for Killian Dane. I don't see him going much further than NXT. I just personally, I don't.
And The next match, Matt Riddle defeated Cameron Grimes. Actually, a pretty good match by these two guys.
A bounce back for Riddle. Just trying to keep him up there in the upper echelon of contenders.
And apparently Grimes is a heel. I didn't get that until after the match when he had that confrontation with Tyler Bates.
Yeah. I mean, because Tyler Bate is never, for me, he's never going heel. He's literally like 22 years old, and he's like the darling of fucking NXT and NXT UK.
But like you just said, he's 22. He's young, so he's got
young.
a lot of time to grow.
Got a lot of time. So, but they're using him as the open-eyed baby face type shit. So, makes sense.
Well, they need to get rid of that damn hat. That hat's ugly as shit.
Not a fan of the hat.
Not a fan of the hat. Damn.
If I saw that hat, I'd drop a deuce in it to get him to stop wearing it.
Cold-blooded.
The next match, Isaiah Swerve Scott teamed up with Breezango, and they defeated, what's their names again?
The Forgotten Sons.
The Forgotten Sons?
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
I think that was more to showcase Isaiah, because Isaiah, man, like.
Well, it was supposed to be Kushida, but he got injured, so Isaiah took his spot.
Well, that's what happens when you fuck with Walter. You fuck with Walter, you get fucked up. He fucked up, so that's what. So it's up to Isaiah to get that shine. So and he capitalized. Like everything is timing. Everything, and now it puts Isaiah in that spot of being like a shiny new face that could ascend. And I mean, they kind of needed an NXT as far as like the African American demographic per se, but because they just let Bianca Belair take an L and they let this guy get a win, so it kind of balances out.
Also,
as far as
the
the
Fashion
African American
Police are now Top Gun pilots. It kind of seems like they're just cosplaying the Village People at this point.
I think they always been cosplaying the Village People.
Well, no, they were only cops for a while. Then they were sailors. Now they're pilots. Honestly, if this was a volleyball match, they probably would have gotten the win a lot easier.
That is true. Danger zone.
But yeah, way too long of a match. Next thing up, promo from Roderick Strong, promo from Killian Dane, wrapping up his fingers from having them broken 1 week prior. And then we have Angel Garza finally getting a win against Gentleman Jack Gallagher. Haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah, it's that the whole how we gonna blend 205 in NXT. Okay, we'll just serve up the cruiserweights to these big motherfuckers. That's literally what they. That's literally what they've been doing. Like slaughtered. Like they're like sheeps, and they're just, oh yeah, you want this guy that's gonna come up in NXT? Have him face the low guy from 205. Won't matter.
I was beginning to think that Angel Garza was a jobber at this point.
Never.
He's just too young. Him and Humberto Carrillo are being pushed way too fast. I think they need to slow down on both of them and let them progress naturally. They'll both get there. Just if you push them too far, they can crash early. We've seen that before with others.
Speaking of green, Tegan Knox and Dakota Kai defeated Jessamine Duke and Maria Sophia with Shayna Baszler on the outside to become the #1 contender for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship.
am I the only one that sense like Tegan Knox and Dakota Kai are gonna win? Because it feels like a feel-good story for them because both of them were both out with the same injury. Both came back. Both are now like prominent. They're trying to build that redemption story. Personally, I don't. It feels like it's gonna go that way, but I'm also for Asuka, so I think Asuka's gonna beat the shit out of him. But but I feel like they're not gonna go out like that. Like, but you know, it's a weird dichotomy for the women's tag as far as like how they blended in, and I guess now they're letting NXT women get it, and I'm just waiting for that one time that the NXT women win it, and now they're on the main roster. That's why I feel like that's the easiest way to get like those women up to the main roster is by winning the NXT Women's Championship or winning the Women's Tag Championship. Anyways, that being said, Asuka's in them and gonna beat the shit out of them, so it don't even matter.
She don't need Kairi Sane.
I mean, Asuka alone was like it. If there was a Mount Rushmore of women's wrestling in NXT, Asuka is literally the forefront. Like that motherfucker was literally undefeated the whole way through.
I agree with you, Kaliko.
Like she was literally the I would say Asuka, Charlotte, Sasha, Bayley. That's it. Those are the only four. Like,
say that again.
Asuka, Charlotte, Sasha, Bayley. Shayna's working her way there.
Yeah, that's about right. But
Asuka did more, like, Asuka was so fucking invincible during her run in NXT. It made no fucking sense. Like, she was like, what was it? You remember Street Fighter and Barlog was the boss, and everybody got to the boss, and you eventually lose? She was the Barlog of fucking the women's division. Because when you got there, you knew damn well you wasn't going to win that bitch. Like, straight up. There you go, Bison. That's why I fucks with Scooter. That's why.
Well, originally Balrog was the name of Bison. And supposed to be Mike Bison.
See, he knew exactly where I was going.
We're all old school gamers.
That's why I fucks with Scooter. Yeah.
We both have that kind of nerd knowledge.
I know, right? The fact that he like
Mitch said that he didn't get that back before.
He didn't get it first.
Yeah.
I didn't get it first. No, I don't give a shit.
And what do we think about Jessamine Duke and Maria Sophia? Way too green at this point?
Yeah, they're there to be the lackeys for Baszler. They're still working. I mean,
what do you call it? Nepotism, though. But they are way down in the scale in terms of experience. Yet they are way up there in terms of TV time. So. That's something that pisses me off, but it's gonna happen. Nothing you can do about it, really.
Yeah, true.
And
but
except own the company, you can't do anything unless you're part of the company. You can change it from inside. Otherwise, you're shit all up.
I mean, but as long as they're there to take the L's, that to me is the bigger, more important.
Yeah, they keep Shayna immortal looking. They keep her from taking too much damage from her character. I agree with you there. That's a good use of them.
And that brings us to our last match, the NXT North American Championship. Roderick Strong defeated Keith Lee and Dominik Dijakovic in a triple threat match.
Boo! I'm a huge Keith Lee mark. I always have been.
I was rooting for Keith Lee as well, and I was okay with this finish. I thought it was an awesome match.
True. I mean, they made it look like where it was.
But I personally feel they've just completely undersold Keith Lee since he got here on WrestleMania weekend. and he fought Dijakovic in his first match, I do believe, too. So, like, he's just been, like, they've had him just neutral, like, just treading water. And everything he's done, it seems like it's been for nothing. That's the atmosphere of WWE right now and NXT. They've got so many people that it's hard, to find openings for them.
Yeah. To me, I think they're just trying to figure out his place. Because
dude, he's a one-of-a-kind talent. I could already figure out a place for him. I don't think it takes 8 months for you to figure out where to use him. I think I would have it figured out in the first month.
I mean, it is, but I mean, you also just...
It just depends on how the people backstage think of him, because I think highly of him. I would obviously put him. So it's just depends on the people backstage, right?
I mean, if they didn't think highly of him, he wouldn't be there.
But I mean, as highly as I do, like, he should be fighting Adam Cole and then for the world title.
He'll get there. I think he'll get there.
I understand. I'm just
him.
saying his movement and progress, it doesn't look like much. It looks like they're just having him stay stuck with the Dijakovic match. He just faces Dijakovic every week.
Well, I think
that's what I mean.
Well, I think they're trying to get him out of that now. Obviously, he has a program with Roderick Strong now.
They purposely stuck him in that since WrestleMania weekend. I'm just saying.
Right. But all things considering, this is one of the best matches I've seen in a long time. I thought this was a barn burner, the way that they all killed each other.
Yeah, Roderick Strong's a good ring general. You could tell he was probably calling it.
Yeah, and you kind of saw, like, that's why all the titles are with damn near Undisputed Era.
Well, obviously, they are
the crew to beat, so.
And, I can't wait for the last segment. Okay.
And then, after the match, Undisputed Era came out to beat up Keith Lee. Ciampa came out for the save.
And
then Johnny Gargano came out for a save. And then Finn Balor came out for a save. Oh, wait. Swerve, bro. Finn Balor kicks Johnny Gargano, and Undisputed Era beats the crap out of him.
Best thing was the look on his face. That's how you sell animation on your face, bro. He looked twisted as fuck.
And I think that's going to be the most anticipated takeover match.
Oh, it's going to be great. Oh, my God.
Gargano, who is known as Mr. Takeover.
You know what? It might
versus
be the
Finn Balor, who literally carried Takeover. It's going to be great.
It might the bar might be elevated yet again for NXT because the best match might not have yet been seen. It might be seen upcoming with Gargano and Finn. So.
Yeah, and I feel like they're going to go balls.
I'm sure. Right when I saw that, and it was obvious that they were going to face each other. The only way they're going to do that is all out, definitely.
So, it's good that, obviously Johnny Gargano is is the heart and soul of NXT. Obviously, he's their mainstay. And it's hard to get him new and exciting matches. So, Finn Balor, perfect opportunity.
Oh yeah, because it's a one-off, and this is NXT's version of The Rock versus Hogan. Like straight up to me, like that. Like you can't get no better than that.
Like, remember when I said Tyler Bate versus Walter was the NXT equivalent of Hogan Andre?
Oh, yeah.
Well, now we're getting, the, other equivalents. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of that from NXT in the attempt to evoke those feelings but not replicate them.
Yeah, because I feel like that match, like, I feel like that match will have that ambiance of a Hogan Rock, but I feel like that match pace wise would be like a Gargano versus who is the champ? Gargano Ricochet. I feel like that match is going to be high paced. I feel like that's where it's going to go.
I will say this though. I don't understand. I think they could have actually waited to pull the trigger on this. I think they could have waited until War Games.
I think
that's where they are. That's where it's going to be. War Games.
No. I think they could have done the heel turn at War Games.
Yeah. Have Finn Balor on the team. Have him pull the swerve at War Games. Yeah. Because they always have that like iffy.
Yeah, that was one thing that had people confused at the end because Undisputed Era had the sign up for Undisputed Era. Everyone thought Finn had already joined them, and then he just went, stared at them from the ramp and then left. So some people were confused at the end. But other than that, it was great.
So, do we think a heel turn is going to do Finn Balor some good?
Oh God, yes.
Yes.
They needed this refresh for the last year. God, yes. His character was so fucking stale. After 3-4 years of the same thing, he needed a refresh, definitely.
All right, so let's segue now into AEW. Which is actually kind of fun because I watched NXT and then AEW right afterwards. So it kind of seemed like a continuation of the show because we went right into the Lucha Bros versus Private Party with literally no build-up. It was like commercial break, Lucha Bros versus Private Party.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still holes in AEW, like I said. They're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination either.
I mean, but I would say this, at least, like, I can make the argument Wednesday night is probably the greatest.
Absolutely. In this era, there's nothing like Wednesday night, but it still hasn't. It's still nothing like the Monday Night Wars of the late '90s.
But it would never. It's never gonna get
there. Right.
All you can do is just like hope.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying. Some people think that people who have not lived through that era, they think, oh yeah, this is probably bigger. They always think what they're experiencing is the biggest, but they have no idea. So.
One thing I will want to mention is that AEW's ratings went significantly down from last week.
I know. Every week they have.
Both of them are going. That's my concern. No. My concern is both are going down.
But it wasn't as significant on this AEW side. They're just going down little numbers.
I mean, the World Series.
And he's right. Scooter's right. The World Series matters.
The World Series matters in the sense that it's Washington.
So give it a week, and give it next week when the World Series ends, and I'm pretty sure the ratings will even back out.
That's you hoping that they.
No, that's what I think will happen. I'm telling you what.
That's you hoping the World Series ends at 4 because it.
Well, it looks like the Nationals are going to sweep.
We'll see. We'll see how.
Hey, I'm an I'm a Giants and Astros fan because my little league team was the Astros. So I know, dude. I know. I hope the Astros come back, but I don't think they will.
But that's my biggest issue. Like, both companies can't capture mainstream, and I don't care what I don't care WWE, NXT, AEW. Like, even with the World Series over. Like, you can make the argument, it's the World Series, so on and so forth. But eventually it's going to end, and we'll see how – because the average age of people watching the World Series is not 18 to 49. I can guarantee that.
No, it's 50
plus. So that's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm saying, like, that's a significant problem for both. That's a significant problem for the wrestling industry.
And it's majority white.
Exactly.
And I think one of the significance was last week was actually not a great AEW. Obviously, maybe people are sick of seeing Riho every week. Marco fucking
I know
Stunt.
I am. She's light enough to where I could wear her as a belt.
Marco fucking Stunt. No need, more need to be said. And maybe people were like, maybe I don't need to watch this next week. So
I think Luchasaurus donned one of his masks to Marco in storyline. I think he's going to start wearing a mask.
Well, maybe that would do him some good.
I teed that up for you to go loose on, bro. You hate him, so I thought that would be fun.
He hates Marco Stunt like a mother.
I know he does. I see the place of Marco Stunt like a Spike Dudley.
I know, right?
Great if they promoted him like a
utility player. I get it. So I don't hate him at all. In fact, he reminds me of a part of my, not me, but a part of my character from when I wrestled. Because I was an underdog too. In a different aspect, though. What?
Aren't you like 6'1"?
6 foot, but I'm skinny as fuck.
Okay, well you're 6'1" and obviously
but I'm
very
skinny
masculine.
As shit in a big chubby dude's world.
And
I can't
masculine.
I can't gain weight no matter what I eat. I've had that problem since I was a child. It's a long story.
And for that, fuck you, Mitch.
I can't. No, it's a curse. Especially in.
It's a joke. It's a joke. You're the bane of every woman's
and I'm
existence.
loving that I'm getting you all uncomfortable.
Alright, enough about Marco Stunt. Let's talk about the matches. Lucha Bros defeated Private Party. Good car crash match.
Yeah. That was a great opener.
It downgrades the wrestling moves, though, because it's just flip, move, boom, no sell, get back up, flip, move. I will say, you got to do some more psychology and more selling, in my opinion. But everyone's got their own thing.
Now, that double stomp that happened on the back, he sold the fuck out of that. That shit looked like it hurt. And
no, you think in general, that style in general. Everyone's got their personal.
I was like, shit, he's paralyzed.
And I have to say this, Isaiah Cassidy has to change his name.
And why is that?
He sounds like just another job.
One, Orange Cassidy.
Oh, you think maybe they're doing that on purpose?
Two, I keep thinking that his name is Isaiah Kennedy.
Real quick, do you think they're doing that on purpose?
No.
The Cassidy thing?
No.
I wouldn't put it past them. But okay.
No, I mean, we have two Storms on NWA, so I don't really see a problem there. We had two Brooks in Impact Wrestling a while back ago, so it's not that uncommon.
Yeah, but it's confusing for me when I'm trying to call a match and I'm referring to it's Isaiah Kennedy. No, it's Cassidy. I'm like, wait, Orange Cassidy? No. Lemon Lime Cassidy? No.
Well, if they ever have a match together, then you're probably fucked.
Yeah,
pretty much.
But I mean, all that offense from Mark Quinn and Cassidy was. Honestly, was absolutely mind blowing to see that match. Quite honestly.
Yeah, and to me, just to jump on Scooter's point, that's why I thought that match was great, because that offense and the fact that where they came from.
Like I said a while back, in 5 years or so, Mark Quinn is going to be a super duper star, dude. Mark my words.
So now we have a video package for Wardlow. He was lifting weights and flexing. Obviously, he took a break from beating people up on the street. So, what do we think about this guy?
Wasn't his name
another musclehead brute? I don't know him until they do vignettes and stuff like that about his character. So we'll see.
wasn't his name like Ezra?
I have no clue. I don't know who he is.
Like Ezra Wardlow or something like that? Like,
Oh, I don't know. All I know is Wardlow.
The first time I saw him, he was beating people on the street.
He reminds me of Brackus.
That's right. That's what made me. I was like, that's kind of not familiar looking, but I've seen this gimmick before.
Yeah, it's the Hercules gimmick.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I mean, it'll
Hercules.
I mean, unless he does something like actually like interesting, then he's just another flash in the pan.
But this is wrestling. Ha! Interesting. What do you mean interesting? That doesn't happen in wrestling.
Well, you know what I mean.
Just ask Vince.
Well, Scooter is investing right now.
And
I
should say,
I got it.
Yeah, I should mention a friend of mine is a referee for a couple of West Virginia promotions, and AEW is going to be in West Virginia next week, and I'm gonna have a couple of talent from EPPW and ATCW on the show.
Oh, awesome!
Next week. Yep.
Oh, it's gonna be next week.
No, not next week. I chose the wrong words.
You said next week.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say that, but they will be in the future, and they're probably going to. Some of them are probably going to appear on AEW next week.
Oh, enhancement talent.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, it helps with your resume, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bumps them up on the profile.
Because then it shows you've been on national TV, man.
Yeah. I mean,
no, I'm serious. Like for the future, that's a lot.
Like friggin' Xavier Woods.
He's salty that Xavier blocked him.
Hey, he flipped that to the longest reigning tag champions. Wait a minute, Xavier Woods blocked him?
Yeah, Xavier Woods blocked him on Twitter.
Yeah.
What? What did you do to Xavier Woods?
Nothing. That's why it's so shocking. It came out of nowhere.
Maybe it was like a purge. I bet it was a purge. Kind of like how Scott purged me.
Maybe he was Twitter. Like searching around. Let me look at like all of the news wrestling people that I can see, and I'm just gonna block them all.
I mean, Scott purged me off Twitter, and then the next thing you know, like
but then I followed you right back.
He purged me off everything last year. No, I'm joking.
All right, let's get back to the show. SCU defeated Dark Order. During the match, Inner Circle came out and went to the box to eat popcorn and bubbly. Have any of you guys ever had popcorn with bubbly?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
No, my bubbly is straight. No fucking food with it. I drink my bubbly straight.
I always have cigarette after me and my girl have bubbly.
Bubbly.
You mean your blow up girl?
Yeah, I was gonna say hand, but
wow.
Double point.
Ruthless, y'all.
Hey, you don't talk about Cynthia like that.
Y'all leave bitch alone.
Okay, Kenny Omega defeated Joey Janela. I said this earlier. Best match. It wasn't that good of a match. I honestly think this was the first Kenny Omega match we've seen since honestly January. And it was against Joey Janela.
No, he's been in many other matches. What are you talking about? He was in the tag match the week before.
What I mean is that we haven't seen a Kenny Omega match.
Like his typical style.
Okay, I get it. Okay.
Right, yeah. And, the last, year, I don't know how you guys felt about it, but my enthusiasm for him was kind of dwindling a little bit. And
honestly, I feel like it was time for him in his mind to cash in because he's been the struggling, starving artist. So now it was time for him to cash in on it, and so now he's got the money and he's not doing much creatively. I see. Yeah, I agree with you, but I hope I see where he's coming from as like part of one of the 4 VPs and him not wanting to push himself. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see where it goes from here.
To me, I think it's just more. When he was in New Japan, you could tell like the passion of what he's trying to change.
But now he's a boss, so things change. You know what I mean?
Right, like you could see the passion of what he was trying to change.
Right, because
now
with Rio and Nyla Rose, he looks over.
Now the change is there with him, and now it's like he's trying to find his groove in that. And that just goes to show because his fruits did not go to the wayside because New Japan just announced that New Japan USA thing, and it just shows
not
like
just
the fruits of his labor finally paid off, at least for one part.
Not just that, but the women promotion over there.
Yeah, exactly.
That the one with that Io Shirai and
Stardom.
Yeah, Stardom.
Stardom.
That's going to be huge because it's going to not just take possible recruits away from WWE, but Kenny wanted a huge Joshi roster, so that's gonna put the cog in, or a stopgap in the plans of Kenny Omega in terms of bringing some of those Joshi women.
I mean, every company's been taking those.
No, but Kenny is specifically honing in on Joshi wrestling with Rio.
Right.
I'm just saying.
All right.
He wants to bring in a lot more, so yeah. So that's going to affect him.
Next segment, Cody interviewed segment with Tony Schiavone, and the Inner Circle were bugging him with air horns. And the thing that bothered me in this segment was Cody was like, "We're not these like the other company. There's no barrier between me and you up there." But the logic here was, why did your champion buy a ticket to the show he's champion of? Second, if he is a fan in the box, in the crowd, why the fuck does he have a microphone? And third of all, if he was a fan in the crowd and Cody assaulted him, isn't that give Jericho rights to sue him for assault because he was only a fan?
I mean, in a sense.
You're asking so many questions that they should have already handled.
Nah, he's going the lawyerly route. I see where he's going with this.
Yeah, I agree. I get it.
So, yeah. I mean, I get your point. No,
just take that part out. Why did Jericho have to buy a ticket to the show that he's the fucking champion
I admit to you, that made 0 sense to me. I admit.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, it was a ticket for the box, so.
Yeah, it could be just like he just wanted to get into Cody's head, so he bought a big box for him in the Inner Circle to taunt Cody, I guess. It's really simple.
Still doesn't make sense. Anyway,
it kind of does, and it's just really bland and vague way.
It ended in a brawl, as we all expected.
I liked the brawl, but I liked that. I liked it.
Yeah, it ended in the Dippin' Dots.
No, I'm just saying the way they pulled it off, they're in between the hits, like just the way what they did and their mannerisms, it was great.
Yeah, Yeah, it wasn't a bad segment, but everything up until then.
It was a great segment when it got to the physical action, but yeah.
Right. The Young Bucks defeated Best Friends. Orange Cassidy came out with Best Friends.
But I will say this: I don't like Orange Cassidy, but I will say this, or I don't like his. I'm not a fan of his overly comedic style, but I will say this: fucker is over. He is over with those fans. He so much as has a kid in the front row that dresses up as him. So I gotta give it to him.
I think
Well,
that child with special needs or something. I heard something like
No,
pretty
he
cool.
didn't have special needs.
wait, which child are we talking about?
He was a kid in the crowd dressed up as Orange Cassidy.
Oh
He was
no,
like
that was for birthday celebration.
exactly. But he's been there like two weeks in a row, hasn't he?
No.
No. He was brought there special for his because they brought
That's
him
what I
into the
thought.
ring.
Yeah.
They brought him into the ring afterwards and
Okay.
birthday.
Yep. There you go. Yeah. No, James. He's not special needs. He was just a kid with his birthday.
Yeah, I heard that they brought him in the ring, so I assumed that he was a Make-A-Wish kid or something.
Oh, I was gonna say that doesn't mean you're special needs because you go or that you're a Make-A-Wish. Just because
my bad.
People like to make the kids' dreams come true, and that's good. That's amazing. In this jaded world, you need to do that. You need to allow kids to have some hope still.
Well, to the Orange Cassidy segment, I feel like he did what he needed to do in this the position that he was in. I feel like he didn't have a match. He didn't do anything stupid or that didn't make sense. He did his little stick. They kicked his ass and he got out of there, and that's what he needed to do.
Yeah.
Next match, Britt Baker defeated Jamie Hater? I don't know what her name is.
Hater.
Thank you. Hater. And hallelujah, a week without Riho.
I mean, they promoted the whole Bridgeburg thing from the beginning, so it wasn't like you did see it coming. Right. I just didn't feel like, to me, why have her in the title match if you're just gonna have her lose and try to build her back up to the title match? I could be wrong on that, but someone explain it to me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I almost choked. Hold on. Real quick, Jamie Hayter, she's a British wrestler who's been prolific in the Joshi scene or in the women's scene in Japan. Okay. And she's gonna be a up and comer. She's someone to look for in the future, definitely.
All right. Honestly, didn't think it was that great of a match. Death by Dentist.
Well, she's definitely green, you can tell. But like I said, she's got a lot of potential.
Yeah. All right, and that brings us to the main event. Pac attacked Mox. We have two people with three-letter names. Interesting. Before the match, and then the actual match went to a time limit draw. Honestly, smart, but I don't see why they couldn't do the exact same thing with like a count out or a disqualification.
To try to give it that NWA feeling from NWA Powerrr. Pretty much. That's what it feels like to me.
Well, I guess so, but it was smart that neither of guys won the match. This is actually the first time that we had a match that didn't go, that wasn't an actual pinfall. It was just a normal match with not a disqualification, but where nobody won.
Pretty much like where two people were just beating the hell out of each other till the end of the time.
Right. But, yeah, was what it needed to be, in my opinion.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with that.
All right, and that concludes our coverage of AEW. And that brings us, we are wrestling with WWE Crown Jewel.
God.
It's next week, and we're going to give our predictions. Alright, so let's start from the top. Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez. Kaliko.
Brock.
Mitch.
Cain.
Scooter.
Brock.
interesting. Only, and I'm going with Brock, obviously. Why?
I've heard that they brought both Fury and Kane are going over, but we'll see.
It could be a screwy finish.
I hope so. I hope they don't. I hope I'm wrong. I'm just saying what I think they'll do.
Braun
Doesn't mean that's what I want.
Braun Strowman versus Tyson Fury, Kaliko.
Push.
What?
That's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. Push.
Yeah, I kind of with you there, bro. But Fury, I don't. This is not what I want. Like I said, this is what I think WWE will do.
I'm definitely thinking Fury goes over. It's
I feel like no contest.
Yeah. When has a boxer ever came into WWE and not win?
Now I hope. Yeah, and why the hell would he come in just to lose, right?
That is
and
a
I hope
fucking question.
I hope Braun would win, but like I just said, no one would come into the WWE to lose. Who the hell would do that? So
somebody who wants the money.
He had enough, Fury had enough clout, name recognition to come in and call it shots. So he ain't losing. There's no way.
All right,
that's real quick. That's sad that it's gotten back to that where WWE's letting outside forces control, and they're not giving their inside wrestlers like Cesaro and other underrated wrestlers the right push they should have. So,
but WWE's been like that since WrestleMania.
I know they need to change that aspect.
WWE that's how you get Universal Championship match: Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt. False count anywhere match that cannot be stopped for any reason other than death, which is highly specific.
But they'll find a way. If it can be screwed up, they'll find a way.
Kaliko?
Seth.
Mitch?
Oh my God. The Fiend!
Scooter?
I want the Fiend.
Please.
I want the Fiend, but I'm going to go against everybody and say Seth.
Told you, Seth.
I'm the only one who said Fiend. What do you mean against everyone?
I'm going with Seth too. Bray's SmackDown, Seth's Raw.
I'm the only one with the Fiend. But okay, wait. So you think after all the wins Seth has over, because remember Seth beat the Fiend after Raw, I do believe. And so, do you think? And it was funny because that red tint blocked out most of the crowd's ability to see the match. But yeah. So I hope he. I just don't see how he'd lose 3 in a row. All right, I don't see that. And WWE be dumb to do it.
Oh, well,
I still think Seth is the man, and they already got the WWE title on SmackDown.
I hate Seth Rollins. I just don't like him.
Why everybody hates Seth all of a sudden? Like, where the fuck did this come from?
I just don't like how he acts. I just don't like. He's got a snobby way about him.
Like, he literally was like the darling last year. Now everybody's like, shit.
No, not to. No,
it's because he shitted on.
Don't put me in with everyone, bro. I have my.
No, not you, but just.
I'm just saying, it has nothing to do with what other people think. It has to do with what I think.
I personally don't have no beef with Seth. He's a great fucking wrestler.
I don't have beef. I just don't. I don't cheer for his character. His character is dorky now, and he's kind of what's the word? Aloof in the way he speaks to people sometimes.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, yeah.
Hey, he can walk, and he's not Roman Reigns. So
I don't have anything personal against the guy by any means. I just mean in the world of wrestling,
right.
He's not my favorite character.
Oh, I get that, but like last year, that dude was just like carving fucking matches out.
Oh, if any fan harbors ill will towards a wrestler and doesn't mean it by their character, they've got issues, bro. I don't have any
stunt.
Yeah, I don't have any personal to anyone about it.
There's always that 10% Marco stunt.
Oh, I know. Trust me. I know.
All right, so
it's scary as fuck.
Team Ric Flair, Randy Orton, Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, Shinsuke Nakamura, Drew McIntyre versus Team Hogan, Roman Reigns,
Team Racism.
Ricochet, Ali, and Chad Gable.
That's Scream's face. So Team Hogan.
He should be a heel though for all the shit he's done in public, but I think they're gonna go Hogan, of course.
Scooter?
Yeah, I think it would be Team Hogan.
I know your heart's saying not Hogan like mine is, but I'm just saying what I think WWE will do. There's no way they're gonna have Hulkamania lose.
I mean, keep in mind Saudi Arabia was after for Yokozuna, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
They should have got followed.
Be real.
And they're probably like, "Where's Giant Gonzalez as well?"
They should have got Fallah Bahh. I don't think anybody could have told the difference.
I mean, I personally seen Fallah Bahh in action, and
I have no idea who he is.
I mean, the guy is good. When I did the Create a Pro show with Impact.
Oh.
Yeah, he could move. It's just
yeah, I have no idea.
Vocabulary.
I haven't seen him yet. So.
I'm also going with Team Hogan, but I'm going to say Ali get injured, Gorilla Mansoor comes in, pins Randy Orton, biggest pop of the night. And
that is a lot.
It's a stretch, considering that he'll be fighting Cesaro as well.
Exactly. That's what I'm like. That's a hell of a lot.
Hey, Scooter made a good observation the other night. I guess Mansoor only wrestles in Saudi Arabia.
Hell's yeah.
What the hell? I don't get that. Okay, so he out of nowhere in his first event won the Royal Rumble just because he was Saudi Arabian. Oh my God.
Yep.
That's called a home. That's what they do. The opposite of people here in the States.
I guess that's what all that money. Yeah, with all that money, WWE, if they'll give you a hometown babyface win if that's what you want. Just give them enough money, right?
All right.
Yeah.
So...
You know what? Fun fact: I did a paper about WWE in Saudi Arabia. Got a fucking B on that paper.
Oh, congrats.
Fucking called that shit out.
Okay, so I'm gonna need a drink of water before I announce this next one. Tag team gauntlet match with the New Day, Viking Raiders.
Tag team turmoil.
It's turmoil. The tag team turmoil.
Turmoil.
For the World Cup.
For the New Day versus the Viking Raiders versus Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party, Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins, The Revival, the OC, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, the B Team, and winner will be crowned best tag team in the world. Why do they have to always have these 50-man Royal Rumble match, biggest, what is it called, over-the-top match? Why does it have to be the biggest of all time in Saudi Arabia?
Because it's the makeup for the fact that they don't have any women in the show. So that makes sense.
And they said that by now, oh, don't worry, by now we'll be able to soften Saudi Arabia to have women on their show. Yeah.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
They think that they can change them.
check NBA in China and see how that shit is.
They're like a silly-ass, thought-ass woman. They think they can change them.
So, Kaliko, who you think's gonna win?
I initially had New Day until Xavier tore his Achilles.
Xavier's the worst New Day member. He don't mean
because I thought they were gonna pull
that match with Xavier.
No. Because my thing was that they were gonna pull that Freebird shit. You see what I'm saying? So, but with that being said, I still think it's gonna be New Day. Personally, I love the New Day, but that's just me. But I see New Day.
Mitch?
Sorry. I was,
who's going to win the match?
Sorry, repeat that?
You want me to say everybody's...
Can you just repeat it? Because I walked away for a second. I'm sorry.
Who's going to win the tag team turmoil match?
That bit. Oh man, how many? Who's in it again? Repeat it.
Oh my god!
Oh God!
Scooter,
I know.
I tried America.
America. Who's all in it? You gotta tell me. I don't want to just pick
I'm
someone.
not doing this over again.
All right, never mind.
Hold on. New Day, B Team, Viking Raiders, Ziggler, Rude. That's all I can think of off the top of my head.
Go with first.
Viking Raiders.
There you go. All right.
Scooter, did you actually understand who I said that's in the match?
Yes, I did. And could you repeat them again?
No.
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 Can I get that for 200 actions?
I do want to say Viking Raiders, since there are no actual ethnic teams.
What?
No, okay, all right, no, wait.
The Viking Raiders are Nordic.
No, wait. I mean ethnic to Saudi Arabia.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Not fitting the demographic.
Yeah. If they were like, I would even say if the Bollywood boys were in, I might even pick them. But
low key, the Bollywood boys were really nice.
They're glorified jobbers now.
I would go.
When you have to job for Jinder Mahal, you really suck.
It's Viking Raiders or it's Heavy Machinery. So
yeah, I agree. Machinery be back up.
So I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna say Heavy Machinery.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I'm sticking with the Raiders.
I'm going with the Revival, and if I had a second pick, I'd go with the New Day.
I would go with the Revival if it weren't for their contract situation.
All right.
Didn't it?
No, they didn't resign.
There's number one contender, United States Battle
They're
Royal.
not going to
match.
resign. They're leaving, dude. I'm telling you, they got one foot out.
There's a Battle Royal for the number one contender for the United States Championship. I'm going with Mansoor to win that as well.
You just got a heavy ass
wrong,
knife for that
bro.
dude.
I still hope you're wrong.
This dude's gonna win the tag team match. He's gonna win the fucking.
I wouldn't put it past them.
The battle royal.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Fucking wrestler.
I wouldn't put it past him. All Saudi
Mahal.
Arabia has to do is pay WWE enough money, and they can get them to do whatever the fudge they want.
I mean, I would.
But they still gotta come back to the States and make that shit make sense. No, man.
They were able to get away with. They were able to get away with literal murder and have a show right after that. So I mean,
hey man, money talks, yo.
Yeah, too much, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, whoever wins, obviously AJ Styles is going to win at the end. All right, and that ends our coverage of Crown Jewel. We'll be covering that next week as well. We'll also be covering Wednesday Night War Week 5. More NWA, more of the good stuff. And now to
the good shit.
Now to that announcement I was talking about, our Survivor Series picks. I will start us off with my pick. I am going with Survivor Series 2002. That was the first ever Elimination Chamber. Other matches on the bottom were Brock Lesnar versus Big Show for the WWE Championship, Edge and Rey Mysterio versus Los Guerreros and Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit for the Tag Team Championships. Really awesome show from Madison Square Garden. Kaliko, what was your pick?
Oh no! Don't take mine.
No, my pick was biased as hell, and I ain't even gonna lie. I was gonna go with last year's Survivor Series.
Whew.
And the reason I go with that one was because it was the first complete total sweep of a match that they recorded. The first total sweep of one brand over the other. And to me, that was the genesis of what was to come to the women's main event at WrestleMania for Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. That's why I picked that match.
And you were there. Alright, Mitch.
Yes, I was there, and I got my fucking second ring there. I'm biased as hell.
Alright, Mitch, what is your pick?
All right, I'm going to be going with possibly the most controversial and iconic Survivor Series of all time, just for how what happened, what went down. 1997 with the Brett, not just the Brett and Shawn incident, but that was basically the start of the Attitude Era.
All right. And Scooter, what is your pick?
Well, I had to think long and hard about this, and it came down to two, and I was thinking it was either going to be 95 or 96, and 96 holds a special place in my heart, but I'm going to have to go with Survivor Series 1995.
Oh, I thought for sure you were going with 96.
No, there's a lot of firsts at this Survivor Series that people don't really associate with the event.
I think I know what you're getting at. Okay. That's cool. That's interesting, and
right.
ours are close together. That era is special to me. Definitely, it's got a special place in my heart. So,
all right. So we have 4 great Survivor Series from 3 different decades.
By the way,
I would say three great ones and one horrible sweep.
Wait, which one's that?
Send me
My pick.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Send me your write your picks in the chat so I can make a poll.
All right.
What do you mean? Send them in the Discord chat or what?
No, the any chat that you have with me.
Gotcha.
Because I know Kaliko is.
Gotcha. All right, Snappy.
I'm not snapping. I was trying to finish my sentence.
I'm messing with you, buddy.
He's tired. Give him a break.
Here, there you go.
All right.
Here you go, Scooter.
Thank you. Thank you.
So there you go. We either got 2002, 95, 97, or 2018. So whatever wins this poll that Scooter
Over one of the 90s. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
We will cover on Thanksgiving, and we will talk about it.
Actually, yeah, I liked the 2002 one, so I wouldn't mind that one either.
Yeah, and honestly, anyone but Kaliko says. I was there. Don't need to relive it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know.
But yeah, when will this poll be up, Scooter?
It should be up by Monday.
By Monday, okay. So,
Okie dokie.
So in the next 2 days, you will find that on Scooter's Twitter, my Twitter, Mitch's Twitter, Kaliko's Twitter.
Yep. I will be creating a poll outside of Twitter, and I will also be creating an actual Twitter poll. So there's going to be 2 different polls to vote.
Hopefully that won't be too confusing. And yeah, we will reveal the winner of that on next week's show. So exciting times. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. If you want to follow us on Twitter, I am JamesJ993. Kaliko, you are? Daddy.
I am Kaliko.
Mitch Mayhem.
And you can find me at Mitch Mayhem X on Twitter.
Scooter.
You can find me at Scooter Dust and running the UNB WWE Twitter at WWE on UNB.
And for my co-host is Kaliko Yachts, Mitch Mayhem, Scooter Dust. I am James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Flubber on my knocker.